This book will teach you something about pain. Kingdoms of Death is book 4 in Christopher Ruoccio's Sun Eater series, and I want to be careful about how I say this, because I have loved every book in this series so far, but this one's different. Nearly a century has passed since the end of Demon in White. Hadrian Marlowe is no longer a knight, he is a legend. He is a prisoner of his own mythology, kept close by the Emperor as an advisor, a trophy, a cautionary tale in human form. And the war against the Cielsen is not going well. The Cielsen are no longer raiding, they are conquering. Siriani Dorieka, the Great Prince, is uniting the clans, forging them into something organized and terrifying and precise, the kind of threat that does not leave survivors to warn the next world. As such, the Empire stands alone. And so the Emperor gives Hadrian yet another impossible task. Journey across the galaxy to the Lothrian Commonwealth and convince them to join the war. What Hadrian finds in the Commonwealth is a civilization that makes Orwell's 1984 look mildly inconvenient. A place that has reframed slavery as freedom. A place that has destroyed the very concept of personhood in the name of the people. And as we have so often experienced in this series, Hadrian's journey is going to take him somewhere entirely new, behind enemy lines, deeper into the dark than he has ever gone before, in ways that I will not describe because you need to experience them for yourself. Kingdoms of Death reminded me of Howling Dark more than anything else in the series so far, and that is a tremendous compliment coming from me. There is something about the quieter books in the series, the more contained ones, that give Ruocchio room to do what I think he does best. His prose, his philosophy, his ability to make Hadrian's internal monologue feel more like literature than narration. When this series has the space to breathe, when it isn't engaged in starship combat, which I love, or political maneuvering, which is also fascinating, when things are slower and darker, the words just hit a little harder for me. The more action-oriented moments in this series are awe-inspiring, but the introspective, quieter moments are where I'm really getting my money's worth. Kingdoms of Death is exquisite in its torture. I have learned from it just how much beauty can be derived from pain. Sometimes it felt like a grotesque car crash that I simply could not look away from. Other times I was so entranced in the misery that I lost myself entirely, and that is a wonderful feeling. As for what I disliked about Kingdoms of Death, I cannot tell you. Not because there was nothing, but because to name it would be to spoil it. And woe unto the man who spoils things for his friends. What I can tell you is there are moments where I wished desperately for a reprieve, a breath, a single page where the weight lifted even slightly. And then I realized that the absence of that reprieve is entirely the point. Ruocchio is not interested in letting you off the hook, or Hadrian. And by the end of Kingdoms of Death, I understood why, and I was grateful for it. Ruoccio's rendering of Hadrian Marlowe remains one of my favorite characters I've ever encountered. I read these books as much to spend time with Hadrian as I do out of curiosity for the plot. Hadrian's love of literature and philosophy and history, the way our present world has become mythology and folklore to him, our current past reimagined as ancient legend, it continues to fascinate me and hook me in ways that I find difficult to articulate, and yet I continue to try. If you have any interest in science fiction or space operas and you have not started this series, I implore you. Even if you dislike it, you will not be worse for having tried. And I think everything has the potential to be good when you don't have some bitch in your ear telling you that it sucks. I loved Kingdoms of Death. Bye.